Hi there, just purchased this brand new SMSL DO100 Pro from AOSHIDA. It was just released a couple of days ago and I was able to buy one of the first ones, lucky me. Been using an AO300 for the last few weeks and I'm very impressed with the sound quality, and I wanted a digital analog converter for some of my vintage equipment that I like to listen to, and I figured this fits the bill. It's kind of their entry level in the DO line. Doesn't mean that it's not very good quality sound, it just means there's not as many features, and to me that's fine. Sometimes with the vintage gear it's nice just to plug and go. So without further ado, take a quick gander here. So we've got the box, very well packaged from what it looks like. You've got your user manual, and it comes with many different languages, and you've got a business card, kind of nice. And the instructions themselves, again, it's relatively simple unit to use, so the instructions shouldn't be too crazy, and based on what I see here, that is going to be the case. But it has everything you need in here, so definitely worth a read. And again, nicely packaged. You have a power cord. In this case, it's a typical computer-style power cord, which is nice because if you're changing countries where you have different voltages and things like that, or if something happens to this cord, you can easily replace it, and there's also not a power brick to worry about. USB A to C adapter. It does have a USB-C input, so it's nice that they provide a USB A for old style computers. Well, not that old, but computers from not that long ago. Little remote. And this is the same one that I have for the AO300, and very simple to use, fits nicely in the hand, streamlined, and the buttons are well placed, and there's not too many of them, which is nice because once you know with your thumb what is what, you don't have to look down at it. Uses 2 AAA batteries, which are not included, but I mean, they're easy enough to pick up. Everybody usually has a couple of laying around. And lastly here, we've got the Bluetooth antenna. And this is the important part here. This out of the way. All right, very nice. Has a fair amount of heft to it, just like the AO300 did. Some of the big changes here, you've got the fascia. It's different from the old version. The regular DO100 had more of just a plain face. This one is matching their newer style of kind of that wave look, and a nice recessed knob there, kind of a indentated knob, which is nice. Very nice, clean looking, decent sized screen. It's all metal. You've got what appears to be CNC on the front with a formed metal case. Looking on the back here, we've got your inputs. So you start out with dual XLR inputs, and this does have the new ESS DAC chips. It has better dynamic range for both the RCA and the XLR, which is nice. Ultra low distortion and very low noise floor. And I noticed the same thing with the AO300. I mean, there's virtually no sound whatsoever when you're not playing music. Has a 3rd generation controller chip, which is an upgrade from the previous one. And they've also added 2 op amps. The DO100 regular had 4, this one has 6. So that's some of the main differences. And also this now has MQA decoding capability. I don't do any of that, so that doesn't mean too much, but for those of you that want MQA, it does have it now. Again, on the back panel here, you've got the balanced XLR and the single-ended RCA outputs on here. You've got the coax. You've got optical, HDMI ARC, USB-C, and then the antenna for the Bluetooth. And again, the USB-C, in this one, it's either in 2.0 or 1.1. 1.1 would be more for the gamers. You've got your plug and your power on-off switch. So very, very nice. Again, compact little unit. As far as the other differences, I mentioned the better dynamic range. HDMI ARC is new. The other one I don't believe had HDMI ARC. So this one does have the HDMI ARC on it. And the internal low noise power supply that's in here. So it uses a little bit more power, but not by much. The standby power, I believe, is the same between the two units, so you're not going to notice anything there. Again, it's a very nice, simple DAC for those of you that just want simple, easy plug-and-go type setup. If you don't want to do too much research on what kind of a input, or not input, but settings you need for this or that, you know, like I said, this is just nice. And even though it's entry level, it's not compromised in any way, shape, or form with the sound quality from looking at the specs. If you go to the higher models, they'll have slightly different DAC chips, some more features, they'll have more choices on the display. So again, this is meant for simplicity, and obviously being the entry level, they have to cut items somewhere. And I believe some of the other ones also have a amp for headphone amp, not for a regular amp. You'll still need, just like with this one, you will still need a regular amplifier or powered speakers. But the higher up versions do have headphone amps, and I believe some sound modes and things like that. But again, if you need something simple, excellent quality, and very robust little unit there, and very compact, this is definitely the way to go. Going to plug this into my system and take a listen, and I'll do a little write-up, as well as probably do another quick video of the display screen. So we'll talk to you then. All right, I've had a chance to listen to the DO100 Pro for the last few days, and wanted to give a quick rundown here on the input screen and the display. Very impressed with this little DAC. It's simple to use, doesn't have too much fluff, which makes it easy, kind of a plug and go for those of you who don't want to mess with a bunch of settings. You'd rather just plug it in, and the default settings more or less are perfect on it. So being the entry level actually makes it even better, because it's a very affordable unit. But a quick rundown here on the screen, and turn on the back, and it comes up with a little screen test on its own. And it will default to the last bit rate and the last input that you had. So in my case, I was using USB, and the last file was a 44.1 bit rate. Press the center button, goes into the input menu. So the first one is USB, which is the last one I used. Then you select Bluetooth, optical in, coax, and finally HDMI ARC. And you've got, it stops on either end, which is kind of nice, because you can scroll back and forth pretty quick and easy. And you can see that nice large font. It's very easy to see even from across the room, which I like. Press it again, it goes into your PCM filter settings. Press it again, that goes into your DPLL, which is for the clock jitter. Lower is better, so I just leave it at the default of 1. Press it again, that goes into your USB, either 2.0 or 1.1. 1.1 is more for gamers. I don't have any consoles or anything along those lines, so I just leave mine defaulted at 2. And lastly is your screen brightness. And it looks blue in the video here, but it's not. It doesn't change color, it's just darker, and for some reason it looks like it's picking it up at color change, but it is just the brightness on it. And then again, it cycles back through your input. So as you scroll through, that's it. I mean, that's pretty much your selection. Very easy. Like I said, there's not a whole lot that you have to research, a bunch of settings to know what is going to mess it up or make it sound better or worse. Plug it in, use it. Absolutely fantastic. A little side note too, which if you notice on here, it does not pick up fingerprints. They did a really nice job picking up a finish that doesn't leave fingerprints everywhere. So you can have it sitting on top of a speaker, which is what I had on my tower speaker, and it just kind of blends in. It doesn't get all kinds of smudges and things like that, which, you know, it's just not a whole lot of fun when you got to constantly clean off your equipment there. But again, nice, compact, very, very good sounding little DAC. So, and best of all, it's affordable. Nice job, AOSHIDA. And I'm glad I was able to get my hands on one of these. Hopefully you'll get one and enjoy it as much as I have. Thanks for watching.